this is interesting to me because I teach 4 and 5 year olds, right? And which is technically like pre kindergarten, like before they go to kindergarten. And you would think like, oh, 4 and 5 sounds like a baby. That sounds so young. But the day that like these kids are growing up fast because they have technology and they have a lot of older siblings that expose them to technology or like, different like bad words and like just whatever. So they're like 10 times ahead of us when we were kids, right? So when I was little, I used to like somewhat dress myself. Like I would pick out my clothes for middle school, and of course I would be like, looking kind of crazy. But then my parents would be like, okay, well, why don't you put this pink shirt with your blue jeans? Like they would kind of like help me a little bit, but they weren't just like choosing my clothes every day. They weren't dressing me every day, right? So in my class, we have like swim day where the kids are in their bathing suits and then they have to change back into their regular clothes, right? So I am technically not allowed to go in the bathroom to help them. So they got to like figure it out themselves. So I'll send like, 4 girls into the bathroom and then they're all changing in there, whatever. And a lot of them are like struggling to put on their underwear. And I'm like, what are you doing? So then I'm telling them like, the words go on your butt because like that's where the tag is or whatever, and they don't know how to even hold their underwear to put it on, right? Because you got to hold both sides of it and then you got to bend down and step into the leg holes, right? And they didn't even know how to do that. And I'm like, what are you doing? So I was like holding out like the underwear or the pants for them to like to and show them how to hold it, and then tell me why they proceed to like hold my arm and then try to like step into it when I'm holding it. And I'm like, no, you take the clothes, put it on yourself, right? Or a lot of them like they can't really tell when a shirt is backwards, even though like the print is on one side and the back is empty. They still can't like figure out which side is what, or how to get their head in the hole, or like where to find the armholes. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, do your parents dress you? And they're like, yeah, like my parents dress me every morning. And I'm like, huh? Well, you need to ask them to give you a turn dressing yourself, or else they're going to be dressing you until you get to high school. And that's when they look at me like, and then the next week I tell them, I'm like, oh, so did you dress yourself this morning? Like, do you know how to dress yourself now? Do you know how to put on your shirt? Can you like look for the tag in the back? And they're like, yeah, I'm working on it, blah, 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 right? So I don't know, like I'm just like telling these parents like you need to have your kid be independent, do stuff on their own. Okay? And when it comes to like wearing a diaper, a lot of these kids like aren't potty trained on time because the parents, like I understand it if like both parents work all day, you come to daycare, get your kid, and then you take them home, you eat dinner, go to sleep. You only have 3 hours with your kid at that point, right? And it's like we're seeing your kid more than us, right? So we're supposed to like potty train the 2 year olds because that's the age they start potty training. Oh, technically like it's like 1.5 or whatever, right? Me personally, I asked my mom, she said I was potty trained at like 1 year old. And like obviously it's different for everybody, but like it's, you can tell the parents who actually work on it, right? So basically they can't move up in the daycare if they aren't potty trained by a certain time. So you have people like the kids being held back in the potty training room even though they're 4 years old because their parents aren't doing anything at home, and then their kid has behavior issues because their parents don't discipline them. So it's like when it comes to potty training time in the school, these kids are running around the classroom, playing in the bathroom, fighting, hitting, kicking, like they refuse to use the toilet at the school. So then like the teachers are required to put a diaper on the kid, and then the kid has to like change the diapers or wear the diaper only at nap time or every day. And I'm like, what are you doing, bro? But like parents don't realize that this is all stemming from the parents, because as teachers we can only do so much with your kid because we have 20 other kids at the end of the day to watch. We can't just focus on one kid and be in the bathroom potty train them all day, you know? And now I got a kid in my class, he's almost 6 years old, and he has like 2 accidents a day. And then the mom brought a diaper for him. And I'm like, we don't do diapers in this classroom. So you're just gonna have to keep bringing different pairs of clothes to change into. And she was like, oh, well, I know sometimes he has a lot of accidents. And I'm like, no diapers. Because then as soon as you put them in a diaper, when this little boy is almost 6 years old, one, that's embarrassing. If I have to announce to the class and be like, oh, go to the bathroom, take off your diaper, put on your real clothes, that's embarrassing for him, first of all. Second of all, you are gonna have these kids regress because next thing you know, they're wearing a diaper every day now, right? Because if he's wearing a diaper at nap time, he's not gonna learn to get up and be like, oh, let me wake myself up when I have to feel like I have to go potty. Like he's just gonna like sleep because he knows he's wearing a diaper, right? And then if he's sleeping all through nap time, and then if you give him another diaper to put on during the day, he's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna be playing with his toys, and he's not gonna like get up when he feels like that urgent feeling. He's just gonna sit because he's wearing a diaper. And he's gonna be like, oh well, like I don't have to go to the bathroom, I'm wearing a diaper, you know. And next thing you know, your kid is regressing just because you throw a diaper on them, right? So a lot of these parents, they don't care, they just try and make it convenient for them, because obviously it's easier to buy like a big pack of diapers, send your kid with like 2 diapers a day, rather than just like keep coming to the school and bringing like a pair of clothes, and then you got to get home and wash those pissy clothes, like, you know. So parents care about convenience more than their actual kid, which is kind of crazy to me. But like this generation is like, the kids in my class, I just be looking at them like, damn, like this is our future. Because a lot of them don't know how to write their names. They don't know like their parents' phone number, because you know everything is programmed into a phone now. They aren't required to remember phone numbers or addresses, or like, you know, your auntie's phone number or like something like that, right? So I just be looking at them, I'm like, damn, like this is our future. That's crazy. And then you have like the two or three outliers where the kids are like extremely smart. They know like their first and last name. They know like random ass facts. They know like the names of like literally all the dinosaurs. And I'm like, oh, you know, that could be the president. You don't know. So we'll see.